First, is Prince Harry being treated unfairly? Now, this is a big old story today. 020 7862 2222. I would love your thoughts on this. He's at the High Court trying to overturn a decision which means he will no longer qualify for police protection because he gave up being a working royal. His lawyer has claimed he was singled out for unjustified and inferior treatment. His police protection was funded by the taxpayer, but when he and the Duchess of Sussex stepped down from frontline duties in 2020, there was a decision to stop it. And the decision was then to give him security case by case, so-called bespoke basis when he visits the UK. Harry's lawyer argues that the couple felt forced to step down because they felt they were not being protected by the institution. Lynn, do you think he is being treated unfairly?
I don't think it's unfairly. I think it's differently. And I think he would have been prepped and advised exactly what could happen if he decided to step down and move away from his duties. It's costing the taxpayer so far $500,000. I see the arguments.
What, the police protection or the legal case?
The actual legal case.
Yeah.
It's costing us. I do see the arguments for both, but he was aware of what could happen. And I think this whole meltdown of, they're completely pulling it away, his security, no, it's going to be on a bespoke case-by-case scenario. If they feel there is a threat, they will provide that security. I know he said, I will offer to pay, but then it sets a precedent, doesn't it? If they continue to do all the protection for him, then that would be with others who are not, a part of the royal family potentially, because he has decided, him and his wife have come out and said, we no longer want to be a part of this institution in the way that we were.
You know what I think, though? That we should actually separate the idea of Hollywood Harry from a man who ultimately lost his mother. And that woman was lost as a result of having her security reduced. Now, granted, she opted for that security reduction, but the fact is, we're not talking about irrational fear. A man lost his mother. And for me, I actually feel quite sorry for Harry. There's sort of the media portray him as some kind of strange traitor.
Well, just look at the Sun front page here. This is their front page. It says, moan alone. That's their take
unfair.
on it. Yeah, well, I mean, he's had a running battle with them, obviously.
Well, the thing is, what I would say to that, though, is can you imagine if we walked into this studio and we read a headline that says Prince Harry killed? The first question would be, well, what type of security do you have? What was put in place? And that would be retrospective, hindsight being 2020. Well, this is an opportunity not to do that, to ensure that doesn't happen.
But if you want to keep your family safe and you know the history of that, which is horrendous, why would you make such a thing of, I want to disband, I want to leave, I want to separate myself,
or indeed
knowing the
go around
ramifications?
saying you've killed 25 Taliban, which is probably the biggest single thing that's caused him to be at risk.
Yeah.
To boast about killing members of the Taliban.
Why would you do these things? Exactly.
OK, well, so there are two elements of the royal family. There is the family, who literally exist, and then there's an idea. He can only separate himself from an idea. He's still Harry Windsor. He's still the son of Charles. He's still the brother of William. He can never remove himself from that. Those are the facts, and facts are shields that win a ding, as they say. And so for me, family's complex.
But their intel is probably second to none. If there is a threat, I think that they would then provide that bespoke service if needed, if required, for certain events.
And therein lies the issue. So he's actually willing to pay for it, but they've basically said...
I didn't know that, because I wasn't aware Metropolitan Police were up for hire, because I've got,
and that's the problem.
And that's why I said it will set a dangerous precedent. Can we just call up the Met if you have the money?
So you can't, but the crucial part of it is that his current security unit do not have access to the MI5 database, the Home Office database, so they're going.
And I'm kind of glad for that.
Well, I'm kind of glad for that too.
Yeah.
But
Why should they have access?
Let's think about it from Radzi's point of view. He is running a script that would have saved his mother's life. That's what's going on. So he leaves the royal family, which would have saved her life. He then attacks them from a distance and called them racists and whatnot. I guess that satisfied him. He then says, I want proper protection. That would have saved her life. Everything he does is, I think, in a way, trying to bring his mum back to life, and it's tragic.
I think
and
it's
in a way,
ideological.
Don't we have to indulge it a bit, Lynn?
I think it's become ideological for him. I think also, I don't want to say and assume he's bored in California, but I think every single thing is about him trying to seek out, find some sort of justice, which I'm not saying he shouldn't do. But at what point, Harry, do you stop? Or at what point do you make decisions in your life where you don't have to keep on coming to the courts?
And Taylor Swift gets police protection, although she doesn't get
It was a one-off, wasn't it?
Yeah, she doesn't get a standing bodyguard. She gets bespoke. I mean, hang on, let's just take a call. Gertrude in London, hello.
It's me when we're talking Harry and Meghan.
I know. Do you know what? I know you always call about Harry and Meghan, but I can't remember what side you're on.
I'm certainly on Harry and Meghan. I'm absolutely appalled that you have not done your homework. When Meghan stepped foot on the ground, there was immediately death threats from the far right. And Neil Basu, former head of counterterrorism, he was the head of counterterrorism while Harry and Meghan was living here, saying Harry and Meghan received the highest number of death threats.
Terrible.
From more than any royal family or anything. And all this that Harry should just have kept his mouth shut instead of writing in the book that he had killed in Afghanistan. Already in 2013, did Reuters write that he had killed. And I'm an average person, and I know if you have been a front gunner and co-pilot on the Apache in Afghanistan, you have killed, because that is only used to rescue British troops behind enemy lines.
You've killed people, you're saying? You mean
yes.
The front gunner will have... Because if it's only used to rescue, then why would they have killed anyone?
They are behind enemy lines. They would have to...
Okay, just answer me this, Gertrude. Why, and I don't know the answer, why is this not an issue for Harry in America, where there are 10 times as many crazy people as there are here, and they've got automatic weapons?
Because here it's toxic.
Chopsticks?
Yeah, toxic. You can't everything... For the last week, and now you have talked about Harry and Meghan every day. And just to hear Lee say that Harry is bald, I mean, that is absolutely shocking.
Did you say he was bald?
And just to hear you...
I said, well, I think it's a lot that drives him is ideological. I think he's got this
Did you say bored or bald?
No, bored. Not
bored?
Yeah.
I'm thrown. Gertrude,
I said I don't want to assume he's bored, but I think what drives him, this won't be the end of it. Let's say he is given that security. He's going to find something else then to have an issue with Britain or with his family or with the courts or with the media. I'm not saying it's not warranted, but at what point, for his own sanity, does he say enough is enough?
I think he decides that himself. He decides when enough's enough. And
at our expense?
Well, actually,
at the expense of the taxpayer?
You mentioned Taylor Swift. We were happy to pay for Rachel Reeves' security, and I can assure you, I'd be mesmerised if a single person asked for so much as a selfie from her.
She's the most famous person in the world, almost, young
Rachel
people.
Reeves?
And no, sorry, Taylor Swift. Definitely not Rachel Reeves.
Yeah, okay. No, I think, but Taylor had a one. I call her Taylor now. She had a one-off security thing when she was at Wembley. I don't think she's got a standing arrangement to have a kind of armed guard.
Which is what Harry would have.
Exactly. Gertrude, thank you. That was brilliant to hear from you. The passion. After the break, we're taking more of your calls. Is Prince Harry being treated unfairly? 020 7862 2222. See you in a moment. But now, more of your calls on whether Prince Harry is being treated unfairly. He's back in court trying to overturn a decision which saw him stripped of police protection. His lawyer has said he's been singled out for inferior treatment. Do you agree? 0207 862 2222. Gertrude, very passionate, saying that the hatred is real and toxic, she said, and therefore it's a real threat. Mike is in Cumbria. Does he face a real threat, Mike?
Real and toxic.
Hello.
Hi, Jeremy.
Hey, what do you want to say, Mike?
Well, I think Harry has been absolutely...
Bring it over. Yeah.
I think Prince Harry has got the sticky end of the paintbrush.
Oh, blimey.
Mike.
Come on, Mike.
Please.
Oh, you turned it down? He's literally watching his own. Is any of this coming as a surprise?
It's definitely the Mike show.
Oh, Mike. We'll come back to you. It's our fault. We should have checked. Well, not really. Thanks, Mike. Shelley in Newcastle. Is your TV turned up as well, Shelley? Right. David in the West Midlands. Hello, David.
Hello.
OK. What would you like to say?
Well, I think he's got a darn cheek, to be quite frank with you. I really do. I mean, he decided that he wanted to leave this country, go and live in America. And he wanted nothing to do with the royal family. The way he's slated off the royal family is absolute disgrace. And he's got the audacity and cheek to think, oh, when I come over to England, I want protection.
Well, yeah, but whether you like him or not is not... Hang on, David. He might have behaved badly. We can discuss that. But in the end, is he at risk? If the answer is yes, he needs protection. And the classic example of this is Salman Rushdie. You know, whatever you thought about his writings, the guy needed protection.
OK, well, if he does need protection, let him pay for it himself. That's my view.
He's not allowed to.
David, he actually offered to pay for it himself, but the issue is that he doesn't have access, therefore the security won't have access to the MI5 database, the Home Office database, so they'll be coming in cold. And my question, I guess, to yourself, mate, might be, how would you feel if you woke up the next morning and found out something had happened to him? Do you think retrospectively you'd say, maybe we should have given him the protection he needs?
I don't know. I can't really decide upon that, to be honest with you.
All right. That's a bit disappointing.
I haven't got much sympathy for the man.
I can tell that, David, but, you know, we have to be a bit fair here, don't we? You may not like him, but you still have to think, as Radzi says, we definitely don't want him to...
Prince Harry is fighting for his right to basic protection, something any decent person would expect after the trauma he's endured. Let's not forget, this is a man who lost his mother due to inadequate security, and now he's being punished for stepping back from a toxic royal institution that refused to protect him and Meghan Sussex in the first place. He's offered to pay for his own security, but the UK government is acting like he's asking for the crown jewels. Meanwhile, the media is out here calling him moan alone. That's not journalism, that's bullying. Harry isn't just some celebrity, he's King Charles's son, a veteran, a father. Denying him protection isn't just unfair, it's dangerous. So let's call this what it is, a vendetta, and we see right through it. If you stand with Harry and Meghan Sussex, hit that subscribe button and support us with a super thanks. Your voice matters.